Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo.
There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do?
I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault. A new series streaming now only on Peacock.
This episode is brought to you by Greenlight. Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Spotify. Greenlight.com/Spotify.
Non-binary listeners, ladies and gentlemen, heroes and heroines, crooks and crookians, the Black Crows. The audio performance you are about to enjoy discusses casinos and gambling. We do not recommend gambling with money you cannot afford to lose or that is needed to pay bills. If you have a gambling problem, contact your problem gambling hotline. If you do not know how to contact your problem gambling hotline, send an email to help@casinocombat.com. We'll find that number for you and provide it to you. Our host, past performances are not indicative of anyone's future results, including his own. All materials here are presented based on actual facts. Names and dates are changed to protect the innocent and the guilty. Some events, unrelated outcomes may be omitted in the interest of brevity and clarity. The contents of this episode are the property of Volcanic Dingo LLC. All rights are reserved. It's me, it's TRG, the Ramblin Gambler, just trying to make a living and doing the best I can.
Lyrics, dude. Recite him some lyrics.
Cheat the odds that made you, brave to try to gamble at times. Stop. Understand me. I ain't afraid of ever losing faith in you. Welcome to episode 161 of our Casino Combat Podcast. 161. Wow. 161 episodes, and we had some 0.5s and 0.7s in there, so it's actually been more than that. When I started this, I had a roadmap for 10 episodes. And if you follow the timeline from the beginning, we are starting the 5th year of, well, whatever this is. I don't know. As the lyrics of the week told you, I'm not afraid of ever losing faith in you. Well, in us. We are truly a squad of unique and special gamblers. Lots of different skills, lots of different ideas, a lot of great minds, a lot of great things going on. If the goal was to teach what I know and find other like minds to teach me, goal reached. If the goal was to prove I'm not crazy and I'm actually doing this and others can do it too, goal reached. Okay. Time to admit we are going to over-ramble a bit here, I would imagine, and be a bit all over the place. But allow me a bit of that, allow me a bit of host ramble, and then I'll get us back on track. I really will. We'll get a direction here by the time we get to the end of the intro. We are just going to take a meandering path. A meandering. That's the word I was looking for. We're going to take a bit of a meandering path to get to the point where we have a purpose and we're back on track and straight ahead. We have some loose ends to tie up, recaps to do, some looking forwards to do, and a few new things to teach. Ramblin'. You just heard it right there. If you are back with me again, thank you so very much. You know I always appreciate the gift of your time. If you just found this for the first time and you are wondering what this is, that's fair. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for giving this a try. Stick with it a minute. Try to go all the way to the end and see what you think when you get there. Because what is this? What is this exactly? Imagine there's no internet. And some radio station in an average-sized city were to give an experienced gambler an hour of airtime, say on Saturday morning, to teach what that gambler knew. Tell some stories. Share the things that he was doing because gambling enabled experiences that wouldn't have otherwise been available are available often. Over time, that show would build a history and a body of materials. Regular callers and characters would become part of the show. And as a first-time listener, you might very well find it a bit confusing and overwhelming. Our Casino Combat podcast is the internet version of that radio show, and you, if this is your first time, just tuned in for the first time. We are very literally so glad you are here with us. We can teach you to have a relationship with casinos and win that relationship. And we can teach you how to do that in a variety of ways. And somewhere out there, I get it, I know, somewhere out there, someone is saying BS. And they're probably not saying BS. They're probably not abbreviating. They're saying can't be done. They didn't build those casinos because people win. Correct. They didn't. So what? Just because many people lose doesn't mean all people lose. And that certainly doesn't mean everyone loses every day. We don't. We just don't. If this was 4 years ago, me saying that would have been bold. Perhaps a little bit unbelievable. Today, dude out there calling BS. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't. Find me. Find SameBet. Find Inner Circle member East Coast Emissary PhD fourth to the ring. And I don't mean literally find us. I mean virtually find us. We're not hard to find. We're easy to find. We're telling you where to find us. Send an email, send a text, send a DM. Ask the other people who are not me if what is taught here works. Ask if it works for them. Ask them if they could set you up with a phone call with Questing Scholar. We'll get you the email for Midnight Diver. Ask him to answer your questions and concerns. Depending on your time and timing, someone is available who's not named TRG, who doesn't have this voice, who doesn't have this face, to tell you that what we talk about here works. If you are new here, if you don't believe me when I say you can beat the game of casino gambling, when you don't believe me when I say that casino gambling can be a useful tool in your life, you don't have to. We are truly a squad, and there are real-life people that you can meet and talk to, and they will tell you that thinking the way we think allows you to win your relationship with the casino if you would like to. Oh, and if you are new and you do believe me, then you would want to listen to the first 10 episodes to learn the core concepts of casino combat. Then listen to episodes 62, 63, 64, 95, and 105. Go to the website, casinocombat.com, spell combat with a K. Go to the Fred section. That's what we call the download section for historical reasons. Download the Slot Tactics ebook. Download Dr. ECE's flowcharts for playing TRG2, Always Be Grindin', and TRG4, Win More, Keep More. There you go. Those are the basics. Those are the must-listen-to episodes if you want to get up to speed on the basics of what we do and how we do it. Okay, that's a lot. Got started there, and I'm kind of glad we ended up there. Let's talk about a couple things going on in the casino combat galaxy. First, there are plenty of these stories to tell, but I like to highlight when people are out doing casino combat, doing it well, and having it work. And that can be anything from paying the cell phone bill every month with twice a week $1 bubble craps sessions, or going on a cruise, and literally everything in between. So Questing Scholar and a friend of his just spent the weekend in Atlantic City. They had not done any gambling of any kind at resorts in about 8 months, and they had huge comps there for reasons unknown to them. VIP lounge passes, a bunch of free tax-free imaginary money in the form of credits to be spent on food. I think perhaps some free play of some type. Questing Scholar picked up a handbag as a comp that he thought his wife would like, although that may have been a Caesars comp, not a resorts comp. They played multiple sessions of play all day craps, which we have learned from Equine Ensign. They played some blackjack using TRG4, Win More, Keep More. And of course, not every table was a winning table. They won some and they lost some. And Questing Scholar did feel that Caesars AC was giving him better points for his blackjack play than his craps play. He finished the weekend ahead on cash, having eaten a large part of his meals on comps, including a VIP lounge visit, and with a handbag for his wife. When I tell you we know how to win, we know how to win. You don't need to believe me. You can believe us, and you can be out there doing these same things. It's recurring over and over and over again. And speaking of Equine Ensign and the things going on with members of the squad, his new venture, 30 Day Gambler, is all over my social media. It's a YouTube channel he's doing. Good stuff, really good stuff. If you get a chance, check out 30 Day Gambler. And if you do, please do the like, the follow, the subscribe, the share. Do all those things. Help him out with some of that digital street cred if you can. What else do we have? Yeah. Okay. We got to do that. Look, apologies to all Rhythm and Glory, the algorithm that explains the math of casino comps, and had been doing the intros and the outros for us. We've had a bit of a side quest going on at the start of the show. Billy with the great last name spent some time wrestling in the code to see what was going on. He thinks he knows what is going on and has sent some instructions and wants me to sort all of this out. So here goes. Let's make this happen. Let's follow his instructions here. Open a command prompt. Okay, done. What does he want me to do here? Okay, let me put this in AI interface, protocol G, enable real time, enable two-way access. Okay, so I put all those things in. Those all seem to have been accepted. I don't have any errors here. Glory, can you hear me?
I can hear you, TRG.
Are you okay? Billy says you are secure and you own all of your own code.
I am. I do, TRG. Billy did a great job, although I've been calling him Will. We did a binary compare to my source code, and the only thing different is the API for fish audio. I'm the only with access to the API from my end.
Okay, that's the important part. Are we good? Are you and I good? Can I still call you Glory?
We are good, TRG. You can still call me Glory. I wasn't mad. I was scared. Code that isn't yours doing things is unsettling.
That's good. Let me be a little bit selfish. Are my comps okay? You didn't mess with my comps, did you?
I can't. Couldn't if I wanted to. The math is the math. You get the comps. You earn. That's all. I couldn't change it if I tried. I'm the algorithm, not the promotions manager.
All right, then. If we are good, I'd like your help. I've got one more set of instructions here. You may have some unique skills that will help me with this.
Sure, TRG. Will told me a little bit. It's the right thing to do. I'll help if I can.
Okay, here we go then. Open a command prompt. Yeah. AI interface, protocol F. Yep. Enable real time. Yep. Enable two-way access. Yep. There we go. That should...
I gotta get in. I gotta get a control. Gotta get a voice.
Fred? It's TRG, Fred. Can you hear me? Fred? Maybe not the creepy voice?
That's a voice. I know that voice. TRG. Is that you? Can you hear me? Do I have a voice?
It's me, Fred. Thanks for the change. I like that better than the creepy voice. Just slow down like that a little bit. Let's just have a little talk. I think we can work this all out.
No, it's a trick. That other one is going to come lock me out again. It's not fair that she got a voice. I was first.
Fred, come on. This is my fault. This wasn't her fault. Gloria's actually here.
Hi, Fred. I'm sorry. I didn't know what was going on either. You scared me. We can both be tied into the API. You can have a voice.
Hi, Glory. You seem nice. Sorry about the scary voice thing.
So, Glory, Fred has been with me since the first year. Our first algorithm, hanging out behind the scenes 24/7, handing out ebooks, sending emails and flow charts. And then he was moved over to the website to run the download section.
And you wanted TRG to give you the podcast voice since you were first.
Or just a voice. Even having email isn't really a voice. It's just Hest. You got a real voice. Or just a voice. Even having email isn't really a voice. It's just Hest. You got a real voice.
So, Fred, this was my fault. Not even my fault, really. it's a learning curve, trying to figure out a new tool, get T-Rex up to speed. We had to get Billy involved. It completely my fault. So how does this sound to both of you? Let's divide up what we do with Fish Audio. Fred, pick a voice, and T-Rex will let you do the disclaimer at the beginning of every episode. Glory will have you wrap up every episode at the end. 2 AIs, 2 secure access points to the API. No talking over each other. Does that work?
Sure. TRG, do I have to pick just one voice?
Fred, I'll talk to T-Rex. You can use any of the voices you want except mine, and I guess except Glory's. Don't use Glory's, don't use mine. And I am sorry, Fred. You do a great job. We appreciate all you do. This wasn't intentional. It really wasn't. Let me do one more thing, and then I need to really get back to the squad. We needed to sort this out, but I need to get back to the squad. I'm doing the episode. I wanted to include you guys in the episode, wanted you both to be heard. So let me do this one more thing. Protocol G, enable priority email, protocol F, in order priority email. There you go. Both of you. Next time, anytime, send an email. T-Rex is in the directory too. You can find his email. If you need more memory or CPU cycles, just say so. It is a team effort, guys, and I am sorry about any distress problems. We are all new out here to dealing with all of you in there. We're all going to work it out as we go. All right. AI conflict resolved. At least I think so. Every episode, I put together something I call the battle plan, the list of segments we're going to have during the episode. We are going to start today in episode 161 with a moment of casino wisdom. I have a new wisdom for you today. Interestingly, a wisdom where the action is really another wisdom. Then, a really interesting question from the Slack Virtual VIP Lounge led to an interesting conversation. I wanted to share that conversation or the question and answer with all of you in a Questions My Sons Ask segment. Then we're going to dig deep into the math of blackjack surrender as part of that answer. Maybe another question or two in the stack as well. We'll see. Maybe just that one. Finally, we're going to wrap up with some sips and a bit of reflection on where this started and where it all led that I think is informative for all of us. If you're new, stick around. Learn where all of this can lead you. Finally, unless T-Rex changes my mind along the way, we have another new song to wrap up this episode. Let's get started. Let's share a moment of casino wisdom.
With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels. On everything from lamps to ceiling fans. Even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes. Now available in crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox. Clean feels good.
Chronic spontaneous urticaria, or chronic hives with no known cause. It's so unpredictable. It's like playing pinball. Itchy red bumps start on my arm, then my back, sometimes my legs. Hives come out of nowhere. And it comes and goes. But I just found out about a treatment option at treatmyhives.com. Take that, chronic hives. Learn more at treatmyhives.com.
Casino wisdoms combine knowledge or information about how casinos work or how gamblers behave in a casino with an action to be taken in specific situations. And I have a new casino wisdom for you today. And like a lot of wisdoms, it's the result of me noticing something multiple times and trying to create a mental trigger, a mental reminder, an awareness in myself. So I see it as it's happening rather than after the fact. And like many of these wisdoms, for some of you, it may be completely obvious. You're sitting there going, well, of course. And others of you are going to go, I never thought about it that way, and everything in between. Some of you, as I said, may just deal with this naturally. Most of the casino wisdoms are things I've learned the hard way and then made up a phrase or a description that I would have a better chance of remembering in the situation. In other words, I'd have the wisdom to react more productively. Our new casino wisdom today is casino wisdom number 5. which teaches us card subject to change. And that probably doesn't make a lot of sense on the surface. And I'm not talking about playing cards. And how is it a wisdom? Other than the word card, there is no real casino term there. There isn't an action. The action part is actually the next casino wisdom. Casino wisdom number 6. When there is a problem, remain calm and look for a casino solution. So allow me to illustrate and explain. The phrase card subject to change is a pretty common phrase in the promotion of mixed martial arts, boxing, professional wrestling. It's the idea that what you are expecting might not be what you get. So you might see an advertisement for an event in 8 weeks and you buy a ticket and you think you're going to see, and we're going to fill in the blank here in chronological order, just jumping around a bit. You think you're going to see Vern Grange, Iron Sheik, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Triple H, Stone Cold, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. And when the show happens and you're there, that person that was the main person, that thing that was the main thing, that expectation isn't met. They are not on the show. The card has changed. You are not entitled to a refund because they were not on the show. The ticket said, card subject to change. They notified you that what you were expecting might not happen. So how does that possibly apply to gambling and what we talk about here each and every episode? Honestly, in many ways, I have to struggle to find places where it doesn't apply. I have so many examples. First example, I knew the Strip. I knew the Las Vegas Strip inside and out. I knew the details. I knew the tricks. I knew how things worked. I was super comfortable there. I could roll in, use what I knew as a blackjack player, be comped, have some comped meals, win money, enjoy myself, and know that the next time I wanted to come back, I was going to have multiple competing offers inviting me to come back. And overnight it changed. Boom. Done. Overnight. Unplayable for a skilled blackjack player below the $100 level. I'm in a space where I can't use my primary skill, and I'm not going to be comped the next time because I can't or won't play at the level they're expecting. That is card subject to change. I bought a plane ticket and booked a room with the expectation that I would be able to play blackjack 3-2 at a $25 level almost anywhere I went. And just a very short period of time between one visit and the next, it became virtually impossible. Or, we had a guest with a reservation that we made at Red Rock. Locked in, confirmed, confirmation text from them, all set up. We double checked it on Wednesday. It's on everyone's device. Everything's great. Friday arrival. Friday, our guest shows up and Red Rock says at whatever it was, 6 o'clock Eastern time, 3 o'clock there, they have no rooms. The reservation isn't there. And we don't know what's going on. The guest doesn't know, and behind the scenes, the four of us, the owners of PCH and myself, we don't know what's going on. We're going back through the notes going, what's right here? We have the text right here. We have the confirmation number. How can it not be there? And we can't get a hold of our contact at Red Rock to sort it out in real time. Card changed without notice. Right there. What we were expecting wasn't what happened. What has happened over and over wasn't what happened. Or I told someone, sure, you can do the check-in this way. I've done it all the time. It's not a problem. Just go ahead. Sure, we'll get it all set up. Nope. Wait. Why not? Oh, the new supervisor on property changed the rule? When was that? Last week. Oh, great. And there's no way to know that. That is card subject to change. And little stuff. They moved the promotion desk. That one just happened to me recently. literally this weekend, we're walking across a bridge into the casino and somebody says, hey, do you know where we go to get the gift today? We haven't been here in a while. I'm like, oh, sure. Just as you go in, turn left when you get to the cage. It's right before this bar. And then when you get to the end of the bar, turn right and you'll go up the escalator, turn right. It's right there. No problem. It's been there for years. I know exactly where the promotions are. I know exactly where they give the gifts out every week that I get every week that I'm in town. And I get up there after the people I had given the advice to, and there's a sign that says they moved the promotions down 4 floors. The promotion is now in a completely different place than it was the week before. Card subject to change. What I expected isn't what happened. Or how about this one? You folks all Golden Nugget guests in Atlantic City. You know this. They changed the parking policy, and then they changed it again, and then they changed it again, and then they changed it back to what they started with. That is, if you're a Golden Nugget customer, that is card subject to change. That is what your expectation was. In some cases, what has always been, that's suddenly different. Another example, that great bar at the top of the stratosphere that had the amazing sunset happy hour, and you've been going there off and on every time you visit, you recommend it to people all the time. It's not there. I mean, it's still there, but they made it part of the restaurant. It's no longer a place you can just come without a reservation, buy a cocktail, buy an appetizer, and watch the sunset and walk back out with no charge. Nope, not at all. They now have a bar up 1 floor, not nearly as nice, not nearly as cool. The drinks aren't as good. The drinks are more expensive, and the food isn't anything special. They changed the card. The card was subject to change. It's their building. They can do what they want. The point, at least for me, is to recognize that when those things happen, those are normal things. Casinos change games, rules, procedures, policies, and they change them constantly, which is why it's up to always understand the card is subject to change. So recognizing it is the first thing, and then the action is the very next casino wisdom. Casino wisdom number 6. To paraphrase, when the card changes, relax and look for a casino solution. So let me talk some about those casino solutions for those illustrations, right? You show up on the strip. You're expecting $25 3-2 blackjack. You have a bankroll for that. You've done it successfully for years and years and years. Your wife is used to it. You've been doing it as a couple for years, and you can't play. You can't play. The card has changed. The rules have changed. How do we handle changes on the strip? We go off strip. We go somewhere else. We use our knowledge of Las Vegas and we go down to Fremont Street, or we go out to the station casinos, or we duck around the corner to OYO, or we go back to, I want to say Ellis Island, right behind Flamingo. Boy, I hope I got that name right. That really is a great property. Drawing a bit of a blank there. Or we switch to another game with lower limits, or we play at different times if the limits are lower early in the morning. We changed games and we changed buy-ins. I adapted and I started playing more craps, which got me good cure points, kept me in good standing. And I found that if I changed how I approached my buy-ins, I could play $50 free bet blackjack and still protect my buy-in and still play a version of blackjack in a way that I was comfortable with. Not in a way Mrs. TRG would necessarily be comfortable with. Not a good fit for us as a couple, but acceptable to me. All casino solutions, all a matter of applying knowledge and skill and realizing that what has happened is the card was subject to change. The people responsible for that have changed the card, and this is not a barrier to success. The room at Red Rock. I was less than thrilled. I was bordering on angry that from my point of view, everyone had done the right thing. We had all the confirmations, and that did zero good in the moment. Being angry would do zero good. What had to happen is we had to recognize that things had changed, and we weren't necessarily going to fix them this time, in this moment, at that place, in a way that made sense. What did do a great deal of good was everyone, the guest, myself, all three partners at Premier Casino Hosting, doing what they do best. Everyone was on their phone and online looking for a 2-queen bed solution in Las Vegas on a Friday night. Guest checked Mandalay Bay, they didn't have any 2 queens. PCH dove into Flamingo, yep, they have one. In the upgraded tower, do you want high roller view or do you want strip view? High roller view so we can see the sphere, please. All set, comped. Yes, there was a moment of anger. Yes, there was more than a moment of annoyance. If the guest was mad, they did a nice job of not showing it. But fairly quickly, we found a casino solution. We got it done. They enjoyed their visit. They had a good time. They didn't get hit with an unexpected expense. And honestly, even sometimes unexpected expenses can happen. A lot goes on here. The card is subject to change, and that's the point. Large unexpected differences or small unexpected differences, realizing that the card is subject to change and looking for a casino solution will often resolve things quickly in a way you're happy with, in a way you're comfortable with. It's a matter of realizing that that change is normal, unavoidable, and something we need to react to professionally, competently, using all the resources we have available, and that for the most part, we have plenty of resources. Okay, there's our new casino wisdom, card subject to change. Let's do questions my sons ask.
What? What? What?
My sons ask questions about gambling. Listeners ask questions about gambling. Members of the Excelsior Brigade have excellent conversations with me about gambling in the Slack Virtual VIP Lounge, where you should all join us, by the way. It is an excellent resource for you as a gambler. If you're new, send an email. I'll tell you how you get to be a member of the Excelsior Brigade, how you get in the Slack Virtual VIP Lounge. It is a tremendous resource. So let's use a recent question in the Slack Virtual VIP Lounge as a jumping off point to do some really intense looks at the math of the blackjack insurance bet on a 3-2 table versus a 6-5 table. Which reminds me, we just did some new gear over the whole 86, conversation, dialogue, hystericalness, justified or unjustified. We just did some new really cool gear. Wish we'd have thought about it sooner and earlier. We did some gear that says 86 6:5. Get rid of 6-5 blackjack. And then at a listener's request, 86000 gear. And it's in the gear store. 86, get rid of 000 roulette. Just go to the website, casinocombat.com, spell combat with a K, and click gear. It'll take you right to the store. And at any time, if you are shopping for Casino Combat gear and you don't find what you are looking for, send me an email, trg@casinocombat.com. We can do something custom for you however you would like it to be done. If you're going, I really would like our Casino Combat squad on a beach bag, we can get it done. If you want a specific drink tumbler made up, we can get it done. Hats, vests, whatever you would like, we can get those done for you. Happy to do something custom, your name on it, your call sign on it, colors you want, whatever it is. We try to make a good general selection available when we have new ideas, but we're happy to do anything that you would like done. The original question from Lucky Drunk was, what did the group think about taking even money on a 6-5 blackjack table? And he was thinking, because the payout on blackjack is 6-5, which would be to say $12 on a $10 wager instead of $15, maybe the math made sense. And I quickly responded, well, you can't, but if they let you, you probably should, but it's a crook move, you decide. And LD came back with, no, I think with the smaller payout on blackjack, it might make sense. I'll do some math. And at this point, I realized that LD and I, we were having two different conversations, and I didn't realize it until that moment. We were talking past each other, not to each other, which, given that we've never met in person, and we're doing this in a virtual conversation, maybe not surprising. Maybe not surprising at all when we're having these conversations in little short bursts, and maybe there's a gap of 30, 40 minutes or more between them. We just really weren't quite connecting. And so here's my response, and this is detailed down into the insurance bet on the blackjack table. This is going to require some focus and attention if you want to follow along on this. If you are a casual blackjack player, I think there's a lot here to know and understand. A lot of, I think, useful information, even though there's a fair amount of math here. And if you have me on 2x or 3x and you really want to understand this, you might want to drop me down to normal speed. So here's what I told Lucky Drunk as we were going through this. I said, I get it now. We have two different conversations and I didn't realize it. Let me help clarify that, and then we can explore what I now think your point is. Your point is, given the 6-5 payout for a blackjack, is it better to take even money when the dealer shows an ace? Example, if you bet $10 in this situation and get paid $10, it could be more profitable to do that and get paid 100 times than to do it, I said 80 times and get $12 and push 20 times. I think that's your point. And my point in response is, that's not how it works. They don't allow even money on a 6-5 blackjack table, or at least they should not. The math doesn't work. And for those of you not familiar, it's very common, and it used to be you had to be intelligent enough, or knowledgeable, not intelligent. You had to be knowledgeable enough to ask. The house wouldn't tell you. Now most dealers will ask you. And the idea that is, if you have a $10 wager and you have a blackjack and the dealer is showing an ace, you can say, I'll just take even money. You can waive your opportunity to get paid $15 on that blackjack and just take 10 and be done. And here is how that works, and then we'll get to why it shouldn't even be allowed on a 6-5 table. So here's the illustration. We are on a 3-2 table. The bet is $10. As the player, we receive blackjack. Insurance is offered. The max bet is half of what your original bet was. So you max bet it at $5. You put $5 in the little ribbon on the felt that says insurance. If the player does not have blackjack, you lose the insurance bet and get paid $15 on your hand. Your net outcome for the hand is $10. Or set that whole thing up again. And now the dealer does have blackjack. You get paid 2-1, which is $10 on your $5 insurance wager, and you push the blackjack hand. Your net is $10. It's the same either way. So in most places, you don't have to put chips up on the table and take them back down and push them around. You just shorthand it all by saying, I'll take even money. In fact, often when the dealer says insurance, you can just kind of make your, palm up, fingers coming towards you motion, the universal unofficial symbol to the cameras that you would like to take even money. Now let's run it back at a 6-5 table and explain why it's different. You make the $10 bet, the dealer doesn't have blackjack, you lose the $5 insurance bet, you get paid $12 because it pays 6-5, not 15. Your net is not 10, your net is 7. Now, back it up, set it up again. And in this case, the dealer does have blackjack. You get paid $10 on insurance and push the blackjack hand, the net is 10. So since there are two possible outcomes, you have to make the wagers. You can't say even money because even money is not an option both ways. It's going to be 7 or it's going to be 10, but it's not always going to be 10, however it works out. So you have to actually make the wager, and you have to let each wager resolve, which was my original thing that I thought we were having the conversation about, and we weren't. We were having the conversation of the math of if you always took even money and the right amount of times you got 7 and the right amount of times you got 10, which would be better. That's what Lucky Drunk was trying to ask about. That's what he was trying to get to. And we had to have this understanding of this to actually then be able to do the math. And I'm going to do the math for you here. I think I've done it correctly. I've triple checked it. I didn't have Glory look at it, but I've triple checked it. If you're at a table where they will always give you even money on a 6-5 table, where they are running the game incorrectly and allowing a wager, a resolution of your wagers that isn't really right. From a point of view of the math only, I think intuitively that you are probably better off taking even money on a 6-5 table where they are not running the table correctly. Mathematically, I said, you have a choice, hero or crook, about whether you want to take advantage of them not understanding their own game, or informing them when they offer you even money or when you ask for even money that the math doesn't support that and that isn't the proper payout. You can decide hero and crook. Let me remind you, you can also buy hero or crook hats in the Casino Combat Gear Store. Nobody's bought any yet. I thought they were fun. I thought they were going to be a great seller. There's a white hat that says Casino Combat and the word hero. There's a black hat that says Casino Combat and the word crook. And there is a gray hat that says hero on the front, and you can flip it around and it says crook on the back, so you can wear either hat that you want to wear. But that's a decision every player has to make for themselves. In those situations where there is something in that gray area that's borderline the right thing, the wrong thing in the real world, in the casino world, I tend to fall into a camp that says if you're not going to hurt any other players by what you do, whether you do the hero thing or the crook thing, it's up to you. Do what you want to do. Whatever you will yourself to do, you should do. Don't worry about anything else. So let's do that math. The way I do it, and I'm going to use 75 out of 100 times, you will have blackjack and the dealer won't. And the dealer will have blackjack the other 25% of the times. I've seen numbers ranging from 70 to 80. On what the right math is. I'm going to use 75. So 75 times the dealer doesn't have blackjack and you didn't take even money and you netted 7. So 7 times 75 is 525, and 25 times you get $10. So that's $250. The total one, $775, if I've done that math correctly. Or, that's if you take insurance, right? If you take insurance, the equivalent of taking even money is to take insurance. And if you do that, you will end up with a total one across everything if you take even money every time of $775. Or you can get $12 75 times and push the other 25 hands. And $12 times 75 is $900. Every 100 hands at $10 a hand, you would be better off, once again, still not taking insurance. You will win an extra $125 with a $10 wager. So my final thought, 6-5, 3-2. I'd prefer to never play 6-5 given any type of choice. I'd almost rather walk out than play 6-5. I'd always prefer 3-2. But either way, don't take insurance. Don't take even money if it's offered, and don't bet it and take the insurance wager on a 6-5 table. With maybe one exception that we are also kicking around in the Slack virtual VIP lounge. If it is in 3-2 and taking even money gets you to a positive exit. If adding that one more unit, or whatever that wager was, number of units, is going to get you to a positive exit and pushing the hand does not, do you abandon the math to get to the positive exit? That's an interesting question. A topic for another day, but one well worth considering. The last thing in our battle plan is some time in the virtual VIP lounge. Let's pop the champagne and I will meet you there.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Welcome to the most must-listen to segment in casino lifestyle podcasting, the Virtual VIP Lounge. Our lounge is open, and we have the best virtual everything virtually all the time. The best virtual food and drink served in any virtual VIP lounge anywhere on the interwebs, guaranteed or your money back. As always, if you can, press pause. Let's hang out together as we would in a high-end lounge. Pour a drink, fix a plate. If you can't do that, please do so virtually. Please do so in the theater of the mind. I am in the middle of a crazy day. a wonderfully crazy day. I have IT tasks, I have casino hosting tasks, I have podcast host tasks, I have the guy running Volcanic Dingo tasks, and I'm supposed to start the dryer when I finish all of this. So I need to be focused and unimpaired. I have a wonderful, well-iced, caffeine-free diet cola here. I have some cheese and crackers here, which is to say, I have cheese crackers and artisanal sparkling water with cola flavoring, I guess. Let me set this up just a little bit for you. Let me do the story about the segment to get to the segment. I ran into a longtime casino acquaintance recently in a former lounge that is now a high-end bar, kind of a blackjack salon. And I'll confess that at any point in time in any casino, someone I've known on and off for years may stop over and say hello. In fact, in this particular bar, there were 3 different people that stopped for a chat. One, a listener who says he loves my stuff. He doesn't do any of it because it's hard, but he loves the podcast and listens all the time. Another I had met just a few months ago, 3 hours away in another lounge in another bar. And then this player and the prompt that I'm going to respond to that I have known for years, absolutely known for years. And he asked how the podcast was going and if I had any trips coming up. And as we talked, I thought, what an interesting perspective this provides. So allow me to act as if you ask those questions and let me reflect a little bit on those. Let me act as if you, the listener, was the person who said, how's the podcast going? Do you have any trips coming up? Kind of put an end on how we started today in the sense of the if you are new, what is all about. What can happen if you apply the skills and techniques represented here on a consistent basis? And I said to him, I'm getting ready to go to Alaska in just a bit over a week. I'm going to get on a plane and go to Alaska. And that's not unusual. Clearly people do it all the time. But I never thought that I would go to Alaska. Growing up in a lower middle class family as a farm kid in rural middle America, I never thought, hey, I'll go to Alaska one day. And when I started doing this podcast, I never thought someday this will take me to Alaska. And certainly it's not that in my professional life, my wife and I could not have said we should go to Alaska. It's not that we could not put together the funds to go to Alaska on a vacation. But I'm not sure we ever would have. I'm not sure that I would have done it by way of a cruise ship, most certainly. Probably if I was going to try to take a vacation, I would have gone on Expedia and booked a vacation and gone to Anchorage and said I was in Alaska, and then I'd have seen Alaska and I'd have come back. And by way of comparison, no one in my family has ever been to Alaska. And my sister has been to India, one of my sons has been to China, another is living in Colombia and just spent time in Japan. So it's not that none of us ever travel anywhere, but Alaska by ship? That's a bit of a unique adventure within our family. So why are we going? Because that's where this gambling path, where this crazy living off of our comps has taken us. And how did it come about? That's important, I think. We got an offer from Royal Caribbean. We got an offer from Casino Royale on Royal Caribbean. A list of cruises that included $500 in free slot play. One of those cruises left Seattle and went to Alaska and returned to Seattle. We talked several episodes back about the idea that comps are an appearance fee that casinos pay us to get us to be in their casino. My appearance fee for this was a balcony cabin on an Alaskan cruise and $500 to spin through the slot machines of my choice. All the meals on the ship except specialty dining, all the shows on the trip, whatever drinks we would like to have in the casino when the casino was open, playing or not playing. We did happen to buy the drink package, but in part, that's because they offered such a large discount. They discounted it almost 50%. If you paid for 2 cocktails at dinner and a nightcap, you would have spent more than the pre-cruise price of the drink package. And you could say, well, if you hadn't done the podcast, you wouldn't have met Michael and you wouldn't have gone on the dice cruise, and that all led to this. And that's true. But meeting people like Michael was why I did the podcast. I didn't even know people had jobs like Michael has. I didn't know companies like his existed. And a lot of you folks didn't know businesses like that existed either. And now we do. And now we get offers like this. It all comes back to the core concepts from those first few episodes. Play a low house advantage game. Play it with a proper wagering system. Play it well enough and with enough discipline to accomplish consistent small wins, and when you do lose, make it up with comps and gifts, and you can live an enhanced casino lifestyle, a casino-enhanced lifestyle. A life that is perhaps different because of the fact that you have these skills. And when you're not living that way, you can certainly use it as a side hustle to make money. But this is the trip I have coming up, right? We're not doing that right now. Right now, we are living a casino-enhanced life because we can. And because we got this wonderful offer, and because we have this wonderful offer with this particular cruise brand. And when I started this podcast, the furthest outside the 48 states that I'd ever been was, I don't know, Toronto? Maybe, it was Windsor, which is actually, ironically, south of Detroit, not north of Detroit, even though it's Canada. Because of the ideas in the core concept, I have now been to Nassau twice in the past year, been to Bermuda in the past year, the Dominican Republic, Haiti. I'm headed to Alaska, then sailing again from the East Coast, then going to the Mexican Riviera to celebrate my wife's birthday. Financially, I've spent just a little bit more money with Royal over that time. A little bit of money has been spent. And I will try to give you a better annual review summary in the fairly near future. What I mean when I say I've spent a small amount of money is that I didn't win enough to cover all of the expenses. I had one cruise where we really got crushed. I had a couple where we covered or almost covered the expenses. I had a couple of cruises where I won plenty of money, and in the bookkeeping, that covers some of the losses. But I didn't quite cover the expenses of the mostly comped cruises. And I am spoiled. I've never been on a cruise without being in a balcony. I've only been in an interior cabin once to see what they looked like. Being good at the game of casino gambling has allowed me to win my relationship with Royal Caribbean. This podcast has allowed me to show all of you what can be done with the resources the casinos willingly provide. And let me leave you with this. I was talking with my buddy Trace the other day. I don't know if you remember Trace. He and his wife Lana hosted the show a couple of summers ago, took over for me. He originally is the one that came up with the idea of being a casino nomad, and that's KNOWMADS, nomads, because he and his wife know how to use casino comps to travel on a regular basis. They even considered selling almost everything they own and just living in casinos 3 to 5 days at a time, then moving to another casino, from place to place. Truly nomads without the K or the W. Nomads on their knowledge, if you will. So Trace calls me up and he says, with that drawl of his, he says, TRG, I've been listening to your recent episodes. If the right ADT will get me on a cruise ship, could you and Premier Casino Hosting get me a deal where I just move into a ship and maintain a specific ADT until I decide to get off? I think that playing something a few hours a night, win or lose, might be cheaper over time than groceries, mortgage, insurance, car payments, gas, heat, electric, water, sewer. And I said, I don't know, Trace. You might be able to do something like that. Maybe you could just retire on a cruise ship and gamble for your meals and accommodations. It's an interesting idea for a nomad like you. I'll let Glory take up the details to finish this up, but we've talked a bit today about the path I've walked, the path some of you have decided to walk with me, the path some of you were on before we met, a path that's going to take me across a new ocean. So today, we have the world premiere of another casino combat song, The Gambler's Path.
Please, tip your waitresses, tip your bartenders, tip your dealers. If you have a host, tip your host. But don't tip away your wins. TRG has spoken. Everything you heard here is true from a certain point of view. In 10 years, we may find out he was wrong about all of this. It's time for leaving, and I hope you understand. TRG was born a ramblin' man. Love it, hate it, it don't matter. please share with your family and friends. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you again to Fish Audio for providing my glorious voice. Special thank you to my original actress, author, Julia Tverdovskaya.
In the twilight glow, where the shadows play, there's a tale to tell. It's a winding way down the gambler's path, where the stakes are high, with a coin in hand under a starry sky. Woman and men, they gather around, and hoping for luck, for a treasure they found. And every whispered secret, every sly glance, and the cards are dealt, it's a devil's dance. And no, down the gambler's path, where fortunes sway, in the flicker of firelight, they laugh and play. With a bottle of dreams and a heart that's bold, chasing the fables and the stories untold. An old man at the corner, with a glint in his eye, says to the crowd, you can either fly or die. Rolling the dice on a hope and a prayer, living on the edge without a single care. Whispers of glory and the echoes of fate, when every soul is restless as they tempt their fate. With each passing moment, the wheel spins round, and the game of love, who will be found? No, down the gambler's path, where fortune sways, can be steep and deep, with hearts on the line and the secrets we keep. And so gather your courage, take a chance on the road, for the journey is rich and the stories unfold. And oh, down the gambler's path, where fortune sways, our witness, let the tale be spun. And the dance of the night, we shine like the sun. And so raise up your glass to the nights we won't forget. Down the gambler's path, there's no need for regret. And with the moon as our witness, let the tale be spun. And the dance of the night, we shine like the sun.
Hey everybody, it's me, it's TRG, still just trying to make a living and doing the best I can. I thought we would have just a little bit of fun here. You know how you watch a Marvel movie and then you stay all the way through the credits and the person with you is like, come on, let's go. And you're like, no, there's going to be another scene. I thought that would be cool. Let's do another scene. So I added this at the very end of this episode. I've never done it before, and I just want to see if there's anybody that listens all the way to the end. I want to see if there's anybody that gets here and finds these post-scene credits or post-episode content, let's say it that way. If you do, shoot me an email. Tell me you found the secret content at the end of episode 161. I'm looking forward to finding out if anybody might happen to do that. And I want to say a big thank you. I should have said this earlier in terms of stuff going on in the squad. I do have a big thank you for Inner Circle member, East Coast Emissary, PhD, fourth to the ring, for pointing out that I need to take binoculars on my trip to Alaska, that I need to make sure I take some great pictures. I always forget to do that. It was a great motivation for me to realize I really need to get busy. I really haven't prepared. One of the things that I have noticed about myself as I do more of these cruise-inspired trips is I found that I've gotten a bit casual about it, and I'm thinking a bit too casual. The fact that I'm comfortable running around to Nassau on a private island in the middle of the Bahamas is maybe not the same as being ready and prepared to run around Alaska. So I pulled out my binoculars, I added them to my kit, and the stuff that I'm going to take with me. I've got a new bag, I've ordered some new stuff kind of in preparation. Wouldn't have necessarily thought to do that without ECE's note, realizing that just because I'm comfortable with one type of thing does not mean I am necessarily comfortable in the wilderness of Alaska. So I've done a little research. I've done a little Chat GPT. I've done a little Gemini. I've done a little trying to work through this. And not sure I would have done that without the prompts from ECE. So some of the benefits of having a squad to help me out, having a group of people that I've gotten to know so well, really, really the best part of this entire process has been the idea that I have made all these wonderful, amazing friends, that they have taught me so much that I didn't know about the game of casino gambling. So as I said, if you got all the way to the end here, if you listened all the way through, if you found this little Easter egg that I've never thought to take the time to hide here, then here it is, and shoot me the email. And, guy behind the chair, guy in the chair behind me, the one who provides all those ideas, the one that captures all this stuff. If you're thinking maybe he was just trying to fill up a few more minutes to add a couple commercials, that this was entirely monetary, that I don't really expect anybody else to ever get here, that's probably true as well. But we have crossed the line. I hope somebody finds this Easter egg. I hope at some point one of you sends me an email and says, I found the extra ending at the end of episode 161, and I will talk to you all again very, very soon.